Hello listeners and fellow Game Pass fans, get yourself set and ready for your favourite unofficial Game Pass podcast, Game Pass News. So I'll hand you over to Nick and Sean and get the show started.
Welcome to Game Pass News Season 2! We are going to be talking about all kinds of stuff. We're really excited. The news just keeps dropping this week, Sean. I'm Nick, by the way. This is my co-host, Sean. We're going to be talking about what happened to Xbox Network and why did that crap the bed. And then Bethesda thought, you know what? We're going to crap the bed too and cancel everything. So we have all kinds of stuff to chat about. Why EA and FIFA don't like each other anymore. I don't know. It's so much stuff. So let's just jump right on into it. What is up, Sean? How has life been today?
It's been a mixed emotions. It started out very good, and then got crap, and then got a little bit better, and then got really exciting because we're doing season 2. So
I know I'm so pumped.
It's been a massive roller coaster of emotions. So, yeah. How about you? How's your Thursday been? It is still Thursday.
Yeah, it's been crazy. This whole week has been crazy, man. I'm not going to lie. I mean, every time I'm like, okay, today I'm going to go downstairs and I'm going to play a little bit this morning of something. Then I get this text or email or something. They're like, need you in the office ASAP. And I'm like, son of a gun. Let me just go play my games and leave me alone. So, yeah, it's been a lot of adulting, lame adulting stuff. I had to take the 6-hour course. And actually, no lie, during the 6-hour OSHA course to find out whether or not I was competent or not, that's where I have done most of my gaming this week. It was an online course.
Oh, no.
And so I'm just like, I've taken it 7 years in a row, man. So, I'm just kind of like, yeah, I know. 42 inches railing, I get it. No more than the 1/4 inch below, blah, blah. I get it. I'm just sitting there listening to him. At one point, you have to click the button every so often. So at some point, I realized I had to stop playing because I wasn't getting through the slides fast enough. But it's been great, man. Thanks, Ninja Lunchbox, first time chatter, jumping in, man. We really appreciate you chatting and hanging out with us. But let's jump right on into the top stories. Top stories today. I'm not gonna lie, I almost forgot to hit the button. Top stories today. Man, so where to start? Well, let's start earlier in the week. Before Xbox's network took a crap, Xbox came out with this really cool information. Hey, Fortnite streaming, you don't even have to pay for it.
Yeah, that's a good move for them to drag people across the cloud.
No,
and
kidding.
have it mobile.
Yeah, I mean, I don't play Fortnite. I don't care about Fortnite for one iota, to be honest. I don't have anything against it. I love you people who do. It ain't my gig. But man, that's the thing, right? You don't pay for this. You can play it anywhere. Big middle finger to Apple because now all those Apple people can play it. They don't need no Apple. That's so great.
You don't need to download the app from the App Store. You can just play it via your web browser.
Yeah,
just off it goes. They do need to hurry up though, Microsoft, and kind of work something out with Apple to have a dedicated application for xCloud or the cloud service with Microsoft. But
yeah, I think you're right. You think that's going to happen now?
Yeah, Mr. Lunchbox is right. Xbox needs the initiative for it being there. That's the start. The starting point was earlier on in the week. That was the dipping the toe and testing the waters.
All right, so then they're like, boom, awesome news, great. Let's go into the weekend. Everybody's gonna play Fortnite. No, nobody's gonna play anything because apparently Xbox's network said, "I'm going to bed." That's what it said. I'm going to bed, and I'm not waking up until Sunday.
I'm not surprised. They had an influx of people using the service. It was, reports of nearly 4 million new users just because it was Fortnite. It was free to play. Mm-hmm. Everybody was like, I'm going to test this, and off we go. And it's a big game. It is a big game to have running that amount of people all in one influx.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of not surprised that it went and took a shit and went to bed. It's just like, no, I'm done.
Yeah, it did.
I'm done.
So here's the real problem. It's not like you could not just play your Fortnite. Okay. I mean, that would have been a problem. That would have been an issue. That would have been insulated. The problem was you couldn't do jack diddly. I didn't even know about this thing. I was hanging out with the fam. The fam all fell asleep. I was like, I'm going to go downstairs and play Bugsnax for the first time. I walked down here to play Bugsnax, which I had already downloaded to my console, and fired it up. And it's like, no, I don't think so. You need to go pay your... I did not know any of this was going on. I was like, say what? I was like, so I'm going on checking my subscription. I'm like, no, I'm still real good. I'm fine. I'm months ahead. And then finally, I went online and realized, oh, okay, this is like a whole network down thing. So why can I not play Bugsnax that I've downloaded, which Xbox has told me that I can play offline, but I couldn't play offline?
I'm assuming when you launch a tile, it does a handshake instantly to say, has this person still got an active subscription? Yes. Is this game downloaded? Yes. All your save data is linked to a cloud-based server for most of it. Have they played it before? No. Okay, now I need to make a new save in the cloud data. So when you've got your backups all set up, you were, yes, you've had it downloaded. Yes, it was on there. Yes, you know that you've got an active subscription. So blah, 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 blah. But then it kind of has to do all the digital handshake stuff with the servers. And when the servers were all like, we're taking a break right now, you haven't got that capability. So,
well, that's a real problem. That's what I got to say about that.
It is. And I mean, you kind of pointed it out that if you didn't know about the Xbox support Twitter page, which is a great little I think they post it for most games. So the week prior to this thing, Rocket League was having a few issues, and they were kind of talking about that. Oh, people are having issues accessing Rocket League, and there's a couple of other games that they've had issues with. But they were all over this. They were like, look, we're working really hard to get this solved. And then when they thought they had it solved and people were still saying, no, it's not great, they then tweeted out again and said, we're really sorry for people that are still having issues. This is ongoing. But then everybody's been like, oh, give me a month free Game Pass. It's like, they've given you a service you can use for free to play a huge game for free, which is free to play. And that broke its service. They're not going to go and to give everybody a free month of Game Pass for something that was free. So.
Yeah, but it wasn't free to me. I didn't want to play your stupid Fortnite. I just wanted to play Bugsnax, which I paid for. So I'm not going to lie. I'm in that camp. I'm like, you give me a free month because your service took a crap. And which I don't have a lot of free time. Like, yeah, you can say, oh, it's just 2 days, Nick. It was a weekend. How often do I get to play on a weekend? So it's like, I don't know. So yeah, no, I'm in that camp. If it was all free, everything was free and it just didn't work, sure, that's fine. But your free service screwed up my not free service, screwed up my paid service. That's the problem.
And I believe obviously that service is still there and available, and there hasn't been any issues since. So I think they have a handle on this now, but it's just a tiny blip. It's been a while. It's been a long while, I think, since Xbox have had any issues. So yeah, I'd like to see Sony try and do this, because Sony servers tend to crash quite often. So good luck with that.
Try that, PS dads. No, to be fair, that's true. I've been back in the Xbox game since the beginning of this season, or since the beginning of this the Series X, and I have not had any issues to this point. So, yep, I 100% agree. This is just a blip. But
I think the last one I ever lived through was Call of Duty Black Ops, I believe, was the last big one that kind of broke the Xbox servers. But it also broke Sony's servers, so it kind of broke everybody's servers. And it was around the time that they all got hacked as well. So
yeah. I mean, let's be honest. Does it really hurt Phil? 400 million new users. Does it really hurt Phil for Phil to say, everybody gets a free month of Game Pass? All you got to do is, sign up and then, just see who stays. Yeah. I mean, let's be honest. Ninja, I am not on fiber. I'm on cable internet at the moment. So if we're having issues with a stream or something, feel free. Don't hesitate. Jump in. Let me know. Something screwed up. But no, I'm on a cable. But yeah, so I guess that was my big issue. And there's an issue here with like, we can't nail down what the problem was. Like, there's a bunch of people saying, well, no, it actually was a user-based issue, which is a bunch of BS. But like, if you would have just clicked offline and made sure your Xbox was your home thing, then all would have been okay, and that would have been fine. And then there's some people that say, no, that's not the problem. The problem was much higher than that. And it's like, I don't know. We need Microsoft to come out and say, listen, this was the issue. This, you guys have to do X, Y, or Z when this happens. I don't know. I feel like there needs to be a little bit more transparency on Xbox's side about, one, what the problem was. Two, if there was a way for us to solve it, let's be clear and tell those people how to solve it. Tell us people how to solve it. And
stop playing Fortnite.
Yeah, stop playing Fortnite. Stop playing your Fortnite, you gall darn little kids. What's wrong with you?
And Justin.
Yeah, and Justin. Yeah, that's right. He's all like, I got 16 kills. He's all like, if you could like go through the wires and see on the other side, he's playing with like 10-year-olds. Whatever. Anyways, those 10-year-olds would kick the crap out of me. So
could have said to kick the crap out of me too.
Yeah, let's be honest. All right, what do we got? So here's the deal. Then we finally get over this hump, this like, oh no, the network's working now, we're better, all is well. And then today, Bethesda drops while I'm knee deep in work, obviously, because I totally missed this until like this afternoon, which was hilarious. Bethesda's like, hey, remember that awesome game that we have been giving you video diaries for every like 2 to 3 weeks? Yeah, that's not coming out till 2023. Oh, and Redfall? We'll do that later too. What is going on?
I don't know. There's a few games that are having pushes, not just with Xbox, but a few games in total. And I don't know if that's with the like trying to get things to work with a little bit of the Unreal 5 engine, because since the announcement of all these huge games, they've then gone and dropped a new Unreal engine, which can run really, really well on the Series S and the Series X and the PlayStation 5. So companies kind of going back and going, whoa, we need to go and use this engine. It's better. It's, CPU wise, it doesn't use as much more, but it can render the graphics quicker, further away. It's going to make our games look ultra realistic. Can we spare like 6 to 12 months of extra time of making people wait to deliver an even better looking game for the next gen consoles on a next gen engine? So there could be that. That could be the reason.
Could be. Listen, here's I'm sorry. For Xbox.
Made my opinion, but fuck your opinion.
No, I mean, you could be right. I have no idea why they push this game. That makes a lot of sense to me. I mean, also, the part of me says, well, they could have just released it and done a patch for like, an upgrade, an upgraded patch, like they do for so much other stuff. Listen.
Yeah, go to switch your game on one day and try and play Starfield, and you can't play it because you've got a 250 gigabyte upgrade to do.
Yeah. There's two problems here. One, Nintendo can push whatever the hell they want because Nintendo has released Kirby. They've released Switch ports. Mario Strikers is coming in a month. They've already assured us that Xenoblade's going to be there because I don't think they would have upped it by 3 months if they didn't think they could have nailed the date. So they're dropping titles. So if they want to push one or two, sure, that's fine. Push away. What the hell has Xbox actually released this year?
Fortnite on the cloud service.
Like, give me a break, man. Like, and don't get me wrong. I understand there's supposed to be this 90-minute, and that's a rumor, the 90 minutes. I've said that on Twitter a couple times, but it is a rumor. We don't know how long it's going to be. But there's going to be this long showcase apparently, and they're going to release all these games, and maybe they'll fill out the calendar, and that'll be great. But right now,
have you seen the timescale for the FanFest?
No, I have no idea. What? No, I didn't look at it. What? How long?
So if you got the email for the FanFest, it's running for like 3 hours.
Well, but the Xbox indie thing was like 3 hours too, and they released 5 decent games. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, listen. And here's the other problem. Here's my other gripe about people on Twitter that are like, delays for games are good. No, they're not good. They're the best of the worst options, okay? I mean, I don't mean to be... Let's just be real here. What is good is when a game hits its target. Now, I agree. I would rather a game get delayed than have Starfield come out to be the next Cyberpunk 2077, okay? 100% agree with this. But... no, let's be real. It's not good. Like, I work in the building industry. If my project doesn't get done on time, I'm not like, listen, actually, it's good that this project isn't done on time. It's a good thing. No, it's not. It's better if I delay it and it's the right product, but it's not good. Okay? Let's be legit here.
Yeah.
That's what I say. I'm a little hot on this one, Sean. I'm sorry.
So Ninja Lunchbox is in the chat, and he's making some really good points. If they polish the game up and make sure it's in fully working order, and you don't have they don't go and cyberpunk it. As he's made a really good reference in capitals down there. And then they can kind of make a year of decent Xbox games for 2023. You take a year like 2022. I don't know. I can't see what they do. I can't. I'm assuming all will be revealed with the showcase. I've got a feeling that there's going to be available now on with your Game Pass subscription, or available in the Xbox Store now. Kind of drops, but it's a big gamble to take. That the games that you've got to deliver are going to be big enough to keep people interested.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah,
I'm a bit worried. I'm a bit worried about the games that are coming for the rest of this year on the Xbox, because it's kind of like I'm sat there now when you've mentioned things like Mario Strikers stuff, and it's like, and then there's like loads of hype building behind Nintendo at the moment because they're having like a big eShop outage some point soon, and people are getting really excited about that because that normally means there's a big game coming out of nowhere. But they need to deliver something with what they've been delaying Zelda Breath of the Wild. So it's kind of like, what are you going to do, Xbox? You need to do something because people are slowly getting fed up of you just pushing every game that everybody's wanted to play this year even further back.
Yeah. And, they got to feed this machine, right? So this is the other problem with Game Pass. Like, let's be honest. You have subscribers. They will leave. Like they will leave if they don't see a roadmap of games that they wish to play. So they have to feed this machine. I am sure that Big Phil is either got a roadmap or is right now handing out blank checks to games he thinks that fill his Game Pass machine. Like, because he can't be like, thanks for. I hope you stick with us for the next 6 months because we don't really have anything, but it'll be a great 2023. That's what we told you in 2021. It would be a great 2022. But, we mean it this time. Like, they can't do that.
I mean, on the other side of it, and we're going to get to it in a little bit, is they could release some very nice hardware soon.
Yeah, to play what?
But that nice piece of hardware is going to make it more available for everybody. It makes it more accessible for those that couldn't afford to buy a £300 to £500 console. Are going to be able to play, 100 plus games via Game Pass. A lot of them being day one releases of decent, like, named games like Halo, Forza Horizon, things like that.
Listen, I really feel like I am the hot take downer on this podcast right now, but I think it'll be cool. I've wanted the streaming puck for the longest time, whatever this streaming thing is. So, and we can kind of jump into that.
Whatever the puck it is.
Yeah, whatever the puck it is. I can tell you, they pucked it up, so they better release a puck at this point. I'm pucking people.
How how many pucks could a woodchuck puck if a woodchuck could chuck puck?
That's right. Yeah, I mean, but there is this thing of like, what do? You're like, look at this. Look what we have. Also, we don't have any games to play on it. But isn't it awesome?
But they've done that isn't that what most consoles did in the past? Like look at when the PlayStation releases, like, look, we've given you this shiny new console with fantastic graphics, but you can only play free games on it for the next 6 months.
Also feels like if you guys could go in there at like sets of like 200 million at a time, because 400 was a lot. So can we
just take it easy?
Can we schedule this, please? Because man, our servers could not handle that 400. I don't know, man.
Hambo Johnny's in the chat and he's got some hype with the puck.
Yeah, I'm all down. I listen. I'm not saying I won't buy it. I definitely am not. Let's just jump to that. That's the next big thing, to be honest. We had a message on Twitter for this as well. We want to thank you guys for reaching out to us, and they were asking there too, like, well, now that this is getting pushed, what the heck is the showcase going to have? And I think, the puck really could be that thing, right?
Yeah, that, and I think that will be. I don't know how would I want to do it. Would you want to drop it and go?
First, before you go, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I just think this is. I did not realize that it was Ninja Lunchbox who asked that question. So Ninja Lunchbox, thank you for that question. I was just going to look up so I could give him props.
He's everywhere.
Yeah, he is. That guy's that's awesome. Thank you very much, man.
So let me think. Do you launch it and literally have the first video being this really nice, sleek, black puck with the flashing Xbox logo on the top? Zoom pan out from that and it's sat there in front of the TV and the Xbox logo launches on the TV and, they go into it then and they highlight a couple of games that are already out and then they cut to it, talk about it for a little bit, and then go, well, with this, you can now access this next brilliant game that's launching day one on Game Pass and just roll and make that the benchmark and then set everything from there for the next 90 minutes to 3 hours. That's for me. I think that's how I would deliver it, but.
Yeah, I think they could do one of two things. They could leave this as the next thing, right? They could roll through these games and say available on Game Pass and xCloud, Game Pass and xCloud, Game Pass and xCloud. And then at the very end say, also xCloud now means this, they could do that as well. And I think that might be a hype finale. We've talked about this. Now, Ninja says a streaming puck for $100. What do you... I don't know. You think that's too much? You think that's...
It depends on what's included. You're going to, for that $100, are you going to get a mains adapter? Which I know sounds daft, but in this day and age, a lot of phones come out and they don't have a mains adapter. They just have the cable. So you're going to get a mains adapter. You're going to get a HDMI cable. You're going to get a charging cable, which I'm assuming will all be USB-C to keep with everything now going to USB-C. It's going to be Wi-Fi enabled because I'll have accessibility for an Ethernet connection because to play these games you want undisrupted connection. Does it come with a controller?
Here's where they'll have me hyped. And I have said this before, but if it comes with a Wi-Fi enabled controller, which basically levels the bar of quality with Stadia. Now you have a controller that's sending movement straight to the server, not to the puck to the server, so that you can have the quickest, best button inputs possible. Now I'm going to be hyped. If you give me a puck and a streaming thing, okay, I'm going to be like, yes, I can't wait to try it. That's great. I also knew this was coming. You told me this a year ago. And that's great. But if they unveil that they have a controller that's Wi-Fi enabled that goes along with it, they'll have me at like 125-ish bucks, maybe probably a little bit more than that, to be honest. But
but then I wouldn't want to be limited to that, because I want them to be able to say, well, it will work with your existing Xbox controller.
Yeah, I agree. Totally agree. Yeah, it's got to be both. It's got to be both. You can have like the Primo controller where you know your button inputs for those like hardcore video game fans, because that's what's going to get your hardcore video game fans to give this a try. Because you have a lot of people right now a lot of hardcore fans that are like, listen, I want to know that when I do something, it happens, and I don't want any lag or anything to be in the way of me and my game. And I think that controller is what gives them the ability to maybe bring some more fans over that don't otherwise want anything to do with it.
So as Ninja's breaking down in the chat, $60 for a controller, that's your minimum. And I think you aren't going to get a controller much cheaper than that, I'm afraid. So this box is going to be bare bones. There's going to be no hard drive. Show your face.
For those of you who don't know, we have a bet about whether this thing has a hard drive, and I said it does not, and Sean said it does, and I can't wait to get my Game Pass. I said a game. I'll have to go back and look. I don't remember.
It was 3 months of subscription to Game Pass.
Oh, it'd be great, Sean. Thanks so much. Can't wait.
So, a slot for an SD card for potential like save data abilities, maybe. But this thing is going to come, and it's going to be I reckon about the size of an Apple TV, like 4 inch by 4 inch square, inch and a half wide.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm down
with the bare bones inside.
Okay, so that's that. There's also a chance that this, the rumor now states that it'll be in the next year. So there's also a chance that this doesn't happen now. And if that's the case, that's going to be a real pisser. And kind of a I don't know if I'd say a problem, but yeah, it's going to be a problem. I'd say that. So let's move on. What do they do? So they release this puck either at the beginning or the end. I agree. If they do it at the showcase, it's going to be one or the other. What games are we now seeing? Like, what are we?
Doom. I'd say yes. A new Doom for sure. I think Bethesda is very quiet at the moment, but they are working on something. And give me some Doom. Give me some rip and tear. I can't see us getting Fable. The fact that we've gone nearly 12 months without any form of gameplay footage, and then still pushing games back like Redfall and stuff like that. I don't think you're going to see anything on Fable. Maybe a title screenshot. That's probably about it.
No. You got to have more than a title screenshot. They already gave you a title screenshot. If they give you another title screenshot, you might as well give me nothing. And I mean that. Like, don't show me Fable until you can show me at least something. Even if it's not gameplay, you have to tell me the plot, or like what are they doing with this Fable that's different than all the other Fables. Like, you gotta give me more than just title screen. You give me that, and I will be unhappy. You don't want me
live action cinematic trailer with a bit of like a release of the story.
Yeah, I'll take that. I'll still gripe because I'm an American and that's what I do. But I'll at least be semi satiated with it. So that's what if you're doing Fable, you got to do that. Do we hear? So I have a list here of the studios. I'm just kind of going through. We're gonna hear about Plague Tale. The new Plague Tale. That's a pretty by Adobo Studios. We're gonna hear about that.
Yep.
We better hear about Hellblade, right? Ninja Theory, to the best of my knowledge, has been pretty silent on that since what was it? The game awards or whatever. I think they had. There was a trailer. Yep. I don't know. We saw a trailer with real gameplay and it was pretty dang impressive. So we should hear about Hellblade 2. I would think.
I know when you're looking at Turn 10, I know the development for the next Forza Horizon has already begun because they're hiring people for that. So, but that could take a long time because they hired people to do scouting for Mexico to get the details right. So, who knows?
But Motorsports should be this year, right? That's the rumor.
Yeah, I'd like a nice driving sim.
Yeah, Motorsports should be this year. They'll probably have something about Deathloop this year because that is over. Everybody assumed that it was on a year hiatus or exclusivity to PlayStation, and that should be up in September. So Deathloop
when are Fall Guys? I know it's not part of any of these guys, but Fall Guys have kind of teased that they're going to have.
Yeah, Fall Guys is doing something on the 16th of this month, and it's definitely included with Nintendo. Nintendo's getting it for sure. Hopefully Xbox as well, because Nintendo retweeted their big announcement tweet, and Nintendo ain't doing that unless they're getting it. So Nintendo's definitely getting it, and hopefully Xbox does too. Yeah, it will be. It will be for sure. Real excited for that. Double Fine could bring us something out. Psycho, at least tease us of what they're doing next. Psychonauts 2 was 8-10 months ago now, so I mean they're working on something new. Yeah, so there's studios out there, obviously, because they own a ton. There's studios out there that can fill this hole for this year. Yeah. But will they do it, and do they have it set up to make that happen? Because I don't know if they do, but they need to. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, State of Decay, they could do a third State of Decay because the second one was pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's Undead Labs.
But here's what I don't want. Here's what I don't want, Sean. What I don't want is for them to be like, hey, remember that game we delayed until next year? Why don't we just show you 30 minutes of game footage of it? You're real excited, and then also remind you that we pushed it for 6 months. That's what I don't like. Sure, show me the game. That's fine. But this is going to remind me somewhat of E3 with Nintendo when they pushed Animal Crossing. Now, obviously, it was the best decision they ever made in their entire freaking career, or their entire company's organization. They landed it a day from when we went down in lockdown, blah, 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 blah. But I was so excited for that game. That E3 was a banger. There were so many good things from Nintendo in that direct. But there was just this cloud of meh. I couldn't get past the cloud of oh, you just pushed the one. Yes, there are many, many things in here I'm excited for, but you pushed the one thing that I was really excited for.
Yeah, the best thing they can do is not even they kind of not talk about the elephant in the room, as to say.
Yeah,
kind of just go. Be like, we're not talking about Redfall, and we're not going to talk about Starfield. Just don't ask questions.
They'll show some footage. I mean, and if they show gameplay footage, people will still be pretty pumped, right? Because we haven't seen but 11 seconds.
Even if we get a tiny bit of footage with an apology or a reason why it's being pushed.
No, just saying you apologize to me.
Yeah, but Nintendo came out and did it, didn't they? Then Nintendo came out and kind of said, "Look, we're really sorry. This is happening." They were really open and transparent about that. So if Xbox can kind of do the same, show me a bit of footage of Starfield, or even say, "Look, we understand we're pushing this game back. We're pushing this game back for X, Y, and Z reason. Here's what we've worked on so far." And roll VT. So
my last thing for me on this subject, it made me chuckle when I saw after I got over my shock and disappointment. It made me chuckle because a week or two ago there was a picture on Xbox's site with the marketing team from Bethesda and Xbox together, and they were like, all the families in one room, and everybody's like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. They were just sitting there having a conversation about well, how do we break this shitty news to everybody? But everybody was all hyped because they thought it might be something great. Well, that's a bummer. So yeah, that's all I got on that one. Anything more from you?
No, just Ninja, who's on fire in the chat this evening, says that he's just remembered that they're testing the remaster for GoldenEye. So that'd be interesting if that crept in from somewhere.
Brutal Legend. I'm sorry, I don't entirely know what that. Brutal Legend 2. I don't know. I'm looking it up right now. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh so, yeah. Look at this. Huh. That looks fun. I'd play Brutal Legend 2. Anyway, so yeah, he says maybe Brutal Legend 2. Anything else for you before we move on?
No, let's keep this going.
All right. I'm gonna skip over that. Xbox creates patent to convert your physical stuff to digital. Man, this could be really cool. That's. I mean, there's not a lot here. We don't know a lot, but
So what's that? That's if I bought the game physical, they will allow me to have a digital copy, hold a digital copy.
Yes. I mean, to the best of how we understand it, which is very minimal information they've given. Also, it's important to notice that they said they would bring this out in the Xbox One S era too, and that got trashed. And so they're kind of bringing up what I think they wanted to do previously. They're bringing it up again, seeing if they can get it done, I think. But it's just something fun.
To me is great, but for me, you never really fully own a digital game because they can remove that from the catalog of games and you can have no access to it if they ever, for whatever reason. So I'm dubious with that.
I don't know how they're going to make this work. In a very consumer-friendly, awesome way would be if you bought the disc, you put it in, you tied it to your account. It then kind of nullified the disc at that point. Okay. Like if you went and put it into a different system, they'd be like, hey, there's no DRM, right? There's no DRM on this disc. But then if you wanted to, you could put the disc back in, I don't know what the hell you're putting the disc in, but well, I mean, for S people, I guess is what I'm saying. I don't know what you're putting the disc into. So it might still not matter very much to S. But anyways, you put the disc back and you take your digital file and you basically move it back to the disc so that you can. I don't know if that's how it's going to work. That would be like the ultimate consumer friendly way to do it, but it would be very cool.
The other thing that's just come to mind is for the people like you that own an S, if you could either enter a serial number in online and your backwards compatible games which you own or any other Xbox games that you've owned for the Xbox One, they can kind of go, okay, yeah, cool. So you now have access to that from the Microsoft Store for free. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
It's a way of making the physical games that people have with they own a Series S accessible, which then also makes that a very good deal to have to own an S rather than an X, because it's then you can kind of go, like this game's like nearly 75% off in the store. I can buy that game there, take it home, go to my S, put the serial number in for this disc, and they go, oh, okay, yeah, so you've purchased that game, and then you can always take that game back. Or so.
I think it, like, I don't know, makes a ton of sense to me to do it that way. And then also for me, it helps out in things like with Elden Ring. I don't have to spend $60 and know that I've just lost it one way or another. If I don't like the game, I could buy it physically. And that was my big, not gripe, but that was my big like aha moment of like, well, maybe there's a point to where even if an X is more expensive, in the end, it might not be more, because I could return that game, or not return it, but like sell it or get credit for it, since I didn't really care for it. Not that it wasn't a good game. I don't need any kind of information. I like it. It's just not my kind of game. I've learned that.
We tried. We both tried.
Right. Yeah. I tried it and I didn't. I took a thank you bite and I said, no, thank you. One more thing here on top stories, man. It's a, like I said, it was a packed day. EA ditches FIFA. I was shocked to hear this news.
Who's going to take that on?
What?
Who's going to take that on? Like, I have no idea who's going to take. Like, that is a massive franchise, which would creates a lot of revenue, but also has a lot of work that needs doing to keep everything fresh. The whole the point system they have on there. The whole
So let me explain first. Just the name. So like EA's still making a soccer game, but the name is going away. It's now going to be called like Soccer FC 2024 because they have the rights through 2023. So So there will be a FIFA 2023. But there's going to be a weird name for the game in 2024, and it's not going to have a FIFA title. It will still have all the players and all the teams' regular names. So they have the rights to that.
Yeah, I have a feeling that they're going to be turned off massively by the fact that it's not called FIFA. If you introduce the word soccer and try and sell that to English people.
Well, okay, maybe it's, I don't know. Now I need to go find out what the new title is, because you're probably right. It's probably not soccer. I'm an American. I was just like, it's probably like Football FC, or I don't know. Don't ask me. Yeah, I mean, so FIFA wanted $1 billion for 5 years for their name. $1 billion for their name. Not even the rights to the players and the teams, just for the name. That's a salty potato, if you ask me. I mean, that's a hard one.
That's interesting as well for a governing body, because I think that's what FIFA are, is a governing body for the sport, to turn around and say, give us $1 million.
Okay.
$1 billion.
Here it is. EA Sports FC. I knew it had FC at the end. EA Sports FC is going to be the name.
That's not Electronic Arts Football Championship. That's what I can imagine this.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, oh no, it says starting in 2023. I must have read this wrong. Electronic Arts has announced today that starting from 2023, its football games will be called EA Sports FC. I mean, here's the thing. I don't play FIFA, but I certainly loved my time with Madden I don't play it now because I get addicted to it, quite frankly, and I just don't want to play games over and over and over, play football games over and over and over again. Would I be bummed if it wasn't a Madden game? Sure. But if the Madden game still played like a Madden game, and whoever took over the Madden title couldn't get a game that was to the bar of what EA does, then I'm still going to play whatever they call it. It's just, the name is great, but the quality of the sports game is what matters.
Yeah, and Ninja Lunchbox is right with the name. Most UK football teams are football clubs, so they could be going on. Yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting one. It's interesting that, like I said, a governing body wants that much money for the use of its name when that's what everybody knows it as. It's interesting.
It is to me too. Now, they have said they're going to shop the name around. They're not going to do exclusivity, and they are going to make, and I quote in their press release or whatever the thing they released, they are going to make, in capitals, the best football game. I just thought that was really kind of funny. Like, they put it in capitals, like I don't know, like it's like my 8-year-old is texting his friend and they're arguing like the best. Like, okay, I guess.
Yeah, we don't need you, FIFA. We can do this on our own.
We can make the best game without you. Yeah. Capitals, quotes, emojis. You need some emojis in there or something. Like, I was just like, I mean, whatever money they're losing from, they don't feel like they're gaining from FIFA, whatever, or EA. Like, how much work are they now going to have to do to shop this name around? Like, there's a cost analysis here that I'm sure they've done and they must think they can win on. But it's like, okay, what if EA would have given you $800 million? Now you have to go out and shop your name around and hope to do this and develop games and get your fingers dirty and all that stuff that you don't know a lot about. When who cares? It's money just sitting there. Like, I don't know. I don't get it, but I'm sure they've thought it through.
And Ninja again this is like the Ninja episode at the moment.
Can we give him
he's making a fair point that if the football teams strike up a deal with EA, that's great, and they would be wise to, because I can imagine that they sell a lot of merchandise through the game, people playing the game, because not everybody wants to play football, but people will enjoy playing football via the game. So they're probably making quite a bit of money out of merchandise from people buying it and stuff like that. The whole trading card thing probably falls back on the game a little bit. So
yeah, I would imagine you're right. All right. Anything else on that before we move on?
No, let's switch on over to the news bulletins.
News bulletins, just one real quick. Microsoft Flight Sim Top Gun, which I'm really excited to at least try. I don't know how long I'll stick with it, but at least try it. Locks on to May 25th as a release date. So I'll definitely be hopping onto that at that point. But that's about all we got there. Are we ready for the Xbox Spotlight?
Hell yeah.
Sean, you go first. Tell me what you got, man. What have you been doing this week?
What have I been doing? I worked so since we last podcasted, I think I was awake for a long time, and then I had to sleep. I slept a lot of Friday, so didn't play a right lot. Worked the weekend, and then I was rescuing 75 kilo dummies from tight spaces for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So I haven't done a right lot of gaming. What I have played hasn't been any Xbox stuff because I just haven't had time. Like by the time I've been sitting down on the sofa on an evening, I've been like dropping to sleep because I'm absolutely shattered. So all my gaming this week has been on the Switch. I played Hollow Knight, which you got some gripe about in the Discord chat between us both. That's kind of like, I don't know. It's scratching my itch for a Metroid game.
Sure.
For the whole back and forth, but I'm finding the currency hard to earn, and I'm also finding it very difficult to understand where I'm going. For some strange reason, I seem to have like a natural feel of where I'm going when I'm playing like actual Metroid. Where in this, I seem to be struggling very like to figure out where I'm going next.
Sure.
So I'm having to actually buy the markers that you can buy in the shop to mark points in maps where I'm like, I haven't got the ability for this yet.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's great. Yeah, no, I like the game. I've learned that if a game story is convoluted and I don't know that going in, that's the part that I learned with Limbo that I didn't know about myself. If I know the story's convoluted and doesn't make sense and really doesn't have an ending, then I'm okay. I can go in with it that way and I'll be like, all right, I know how this is going to go. But when I'm like expecting a conclusion and it never comes, then I get really frustrated. I'm like, well, come on, like what's going on here? So
yeah.
The
other game I've been playing is some Switch Sports. I've been trying to get some bowling done, just for fun. I've tried the Dads After Dark thing, and those special courses are horrific. So I will not be partaking any further in that at all. Hats off to Jesse's little one.
Well, not very little Link. One, but Jesse's son.
Yeah. Well, Jesse's son. He's still little. He might be like near my age, but it's still Jesse's son. So it's Jesse's little.
Yeah,
one.
That's fair.
Yeah, 244 on those special stages is impressive. So well done for that. I can't imagine people are going to get much closer to 250 than that. Even though I have seen a lot of people doing videos on YouTube for how to get like a perfect game every time, which is kind of making me worried about playing it online more because it's kind of like if everybody starts doing this perfect hack to get the perfect game all the time, it's going to ruin the whole thing.
Well, I haven't tried it yet, but according to Dads After Dark, John YouTubed it, and it's the bummer is that it's not even realistic. Like you're supposed to aim straight down the lane at the center pin and basically try to do it as straight and hard as possible. And that gives you a strike, which is not realistic to real bowling. Like, so no. If that's true, that's really seems like a glitch to me that, I don't know. But anyways, I haven't tried it yet though. I want to, because I suck at bowling. I'm not going to lie.
And then the other game I've been playing, which I only played for a little bit this evening when we got back from our shitter of a day out, Smash Bros. Ultimate on the Switch, because I'm going to be representing the Nintendo dads in a cross podcast tournament. So
I'm proud. Yeah. I'm proud of you. Yeah, it's not my.
Don't be proud. Don't be proud yet. It took a couple of battles to relearn the buttons, but I'm in on it. I've got my Dr. Mario hat back on, and I did 2 online matches, like free for all kind of thing, and won each one. So
cool. Yeah, I mean, there's some stiff competition. Jason Lacey, is it? And I was listening to Carpool Gaming. They listed 3 or 4 people who I was like, dang, I've heard they're really good at games. So yeah, there's going to be some competition. There's no doubt about that. But we'll see. Anything else for you?
So what about that's it? That's it for me so far. I'm gonna try and get into. I don't even know. We'll have to see what happens with the games that we're going to look at later.
Yeah. So for me, Lost in Random, I finished it. Dice card game. It was a lot of fun. It had it got a little long in the tooth in the way of gameplay, actually, which is really weird to say. I just wanted to get to the story, and I just kept having to do these battles. The battles got a little repetitive. Took me about 15 to 18 hours to beat. But man, the story was really good. Like one of the best, like telling of stories while actually not being just a narrative game, being an action game where you're actually, fighting and telling a story. Did a really good job. I really enjoyed it. So if you're looking for something like that, you might want to take a look at that. Switch Sports is a big hit in this family. My son loves it. Also for Drew, like, I know in the Dads After Dark, he's complaining about not having his kids' account so they can't get all the items. The best thing to do is just like let your daughter change your character, change the name, change the character. It doesn't take that long to change back. And then even while you're not playing, you're getting items. It's a real big dad hack. Okay. So, I'm like, sure, honey, you do whatever you want. Then she goes to bed. I changed my character back to how I want it. And now I have all these extra items because she's played with her brother for like an hour. Great deal. Love it. And then I started Bug Snacks. I forgot to put this on my list. Started Bug Snacks. I just helped I finished the tasks for like the weightlifter guy and the nerdy dude. Yeah. So I just did that.
Chandler.
Yeah. I am enjoying it. I'm not loving it. I didn't realize that it was like a Pokemon Snap like, and that's not necessarily my gig. So I need to try to figure that out and do something with them.
You don't have to scan them. This is something I will figure out. You don't have to go around and scan them. To unlock the achievement, you do have to scan them, I believe. But as long as you catch them, that automatically puts them into that journal. So you don't necessarily have to go looking around for them and snapping them up.
Okay.
Because that got tedious for me.
Yeah. Yeah. What I will say is I am enjoying, there seems to be a good story there so far. I'm enjoying like this interview process. You're a journalist. You go to this land. You have to kind of help these people with these bug snacks, and so there's a story. You interview each person you help, and as you interview each person, it moves the story forward, both narratively and also moves the gameplay forward, so you can learn the next bit of the story. And that part is a lot of fun. I do like that. That's keeping me going. The town building is fun as you bring people back. They did a lame job with your hut, in my opinion. That was definitely just like a real afterthought. You have this hut and you can slowly decorate it, but it just feels real. It feels real afterthoughty, in my opinion. I wish kind of they just wouldn't have even done it, or if they would have just been like, the item just appears there, because I don't know, it just doesn't feel like there's enough there.
Yeah, there's if you use your mailbox system, that's how you really get all the different customizations for the house. You can even get it 2-story.
Okay,
but you have to really grind those mailbox challenges out to get them.
All right, I'll keep doing it. I am using the mailbox. I'm doing some of that stuff. I'm kind of trying to do a little bit of both, but really kind of stay on task with the main deal, because there are some extra games, or there are some games that I want to get to. So I don't want to get too deep in all the extra challenges. So that's all I've been playing. I think we have one question from the party chat. Is that correct?
That is true.
Let's go there.
So that one question comes from Mr. Hambo and Johnny this week, and it's linked to the depressing news about one of the big games for this year being held. And he says, when do you think Starfield will be released, and what in the world is Xbox going to do to fill the crater that is left in its wake?
Yeah. So we answered the second part. We didn't really touch on the first, though. Like, when in 2023 do we feel like this is coming out? Now,
I reckon this would be around this time next year, ready for the big summer run.
I'm going to Twitter quick. I believe they said spring of 2023. I believe that was already said.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying.
So that'd be April, March.
Yeah. In the first half, that's what they said. We've made Yeah, we've made the decision to delay the launches of Redfall and Starfield to the first half of 2023. So I said 6 months, but this was a push to. This is a push. Yeah.
It is a full 12. It's an extra year long wait for it. So
yeah, a little shy of that, but yeah, I mean, it could be. You don't know, right? You don't know what it is. It could be as little as 3 months. It could be as much as 9 months, if they stick with their time frame. Also, if you're a Nintendo fan like we are, you got to be thinking you got Breath of the Wild looming in that spring time too now, right? So like, are those going to land next to each other? Because that's a real kick in the nuts.
Yeah, they really need to kind of figure out how they're going to get around that.
Yeah,
because they'll lose me for sure. They'll definitely lose me to Zelda. So.
Yeah. I mean, if you do a drop of almost like what Horizon did, right? So where it's like Breath of the Wild and Starfield drop even within a week of each other. Oh my gosh, I can't make that decision. I think I can, and I think I'm going to go Breath of the Wild, but I'm also going to be so torn to see what this new IP is like that it's going to be really hard not to go that route too. I mean, that's a disaster. I hope that doesn't happen, but that was a disaster if it does.
Definitely.
Lunchbox says Breath of the Wild 2 is going to be delayed again. Which
don't do that to us. Don't even jinx that. Why would you say that?
Yeah, I know. I agree with everything you're saying, Sean, but I also can agree with Breath of the Wild got delayed a lot. So yeah, it wouldn't shock me.
I have a feeling Breath of the Wild is going to come with the next generation of Switch consoles.
Ugh, we'll see. That just means it's like Breath of the Wild. It's just a repeat of what they did with Breath of the Wild.
Exactly that.
If I had a guess, you have Stalker out there too. Stalker's supposed to be spring of 2023. Stalker spring of 2023. I'm gonna say they pushed this to late. They pushed this to like a May, June game for Starfield. That's what I'm gonna think they do, and they try to still keep their time frame into what they're talking about for the first half of the year.
Yeah, I mean, God knows what they're going to announce in the showcase. So that could kind of cover everything up till Christmas and early next year. So
yeah, and Redfall, Redfall can be released whenever. It's kind of a one-off IP. I don't think it's going to get in the way of much. It's the vampire co-op online game. It's kind of like Left 4 Dead, but vampires is how it looks in my head. But I don't really know. All I did was have a little, the same look as everybody else. So we'll see. So yeah, but that's what I think about that.
Yeah, I mean, there isn't a lot they can do to fill that crater other than drop, like you say, blank checks to developers to kind of go, look, what do we need to get you to get this game finished? We've got gaps in our calendar now that we want you to fill. So hurry up, make this happen.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's I can't think of much else. Hey, I know this wasn't planned and it's not really a great time, but you're about to move on. So before we do that, I do want to mention a couple things for everybody. We have our Bug Snacks Event Achievement Hunters contest. We are adding a first place prize. And if multiple people get all of the achievements, the first person to get me the full achievement list will get this. We are going to mail you guys out a Grand Hunter, hard to see. I'll take a picture of it so you guys can see it online. A Grand Hunter pin. It's an acrylic pin. And we will mail that out to you as being the Grand Hunter for the challenge. We'll do that every time. And then also, I'm going to start streaming again. I took a long break trying to figure out how to make this work in my life and have it be fun. And also, a value add for you guys. I'm going to start streaming every Wednesday so that you guys know when it's going to be. It's going to be 11 p.m. Eastern time. I'll be doing something Game Passy more than likely. So, thanks, Ninja. We were really excited. Shout out to Sticker Mule. They did a really good job with them for us. So that's all I got. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to break in.
No, it's cool. I wonder if we can work when you do the picture, kind of get them in on the tweets and stuff like that. And it'd be nice if we could potentially get discount codes to use them, because they are awesome looking pins. Nick sent me a photo earlier. And those things are awesome. The man from the USA sent me a picture of a pin with a Canadian dime. Was it?
Quarter. It's a quarter.
With a Canadian quarter to a UK guy. So we got international in our chat.
It was so funny. It was just sitting here on my desk. I was like, I'll use this quarter. And as I'm taking the picture, I'm like, that's a Canadian quarter. I was like, this is hilarious. Good times.
That is everything from our party chat. So for you guys that are watching this live and go watch the YouTube video, hang on for the next section because you're going to love it. And if you want to, Nick, take us over to the Game Pass News Showcase.
All right, introduce us to the Game Pass News Showcase. This is Sean is going to lead this baby. This is all him. I'm just the man with the buttons.
So, for any of you guys out there that didn't catch the video of us doing this, this is now how we're going to run with all the games that are coming to Game Pass, all the games that are announced to Game Pass, and all the games that are things like in the Golden Ticket, any that we think have got like a great interest and are coming soon. We're going to drop a review here. And you're going to watch us review it, react to it live. So yeah, I mean, I think the first game in the list when I get all my screens to work, because my computer is now having a fit. The first game on our list is NHL 22. So if you want to take us through that, Nick.
Do you have any real history with NHL 22? Do you ever play this as a UK guy?
I haven't played this. I think the only one I played is the one that we played for Extra Life. But what's interesting is this running on the Frostbite engine, which is a great engine for the games to be running on.
Do you is NHL big in the UK? Is that like
we do have ice hockey, so
yeah.
Hull have the Steelers, I believe. So yeah, we do have. There is ice hockey around. It's just not as big as it is in the US or Canada.
Definitely not Canada. Definitely not as big as Canada. I used to really love playing the NHL games. I haven't played them in a really long time, but I mean, it would be cool, man. I always wish we could get wish Chris had system. We could play with him and do all that. It'd be a ton of fun. Play a one-off game or something like that.
Definitely, yeah. But yeah, hopefully if this comes to the little puck and everything, and he can get hold of that, he can play with us. So.
He can get a puck and play with the game with the puck. I like it. I did like in this game that there's these modes where it looks like there's, I don't know, kind of like outdoorsy, like, I don't know if they call it backyard hockey. I don't know what they call it in hockey, but like street ball and basketball kind of thing.
Yeah, I've only just noticed, and that is quite a nice touch. It kind of gives you, I'm assuming that the story mode of this might be that you start out as something small and leap into like the full league of everything. So
yeah, that would be cool. What's next, sir?
So next up is Danganronpa 2: Goodbye to Despair. This game seems to have been getting quite a bit of hype, as well as the next game that we're going to look at. So,
dude, I don't know. I'm not gonna lie. I've watched these trailers to get the footage needed for the content to do this. I don't have a clue what's going on here, man. If anybody on chat knows what's going on here, feel free to jump in and let me know. I'm gonna actually, while we watch it, I'm gonna look it up because I do not get it.
The music's kind of weird. As you can tell by my face, this is a bit...
Yeah, this looked like a Sean game. I was like, oh yeah, Sean's down for this. This actually came out in 2022, or I'm sorry, August 20th, 2020.
So chat's currently got no idea what's going on.
Yeah, they're like, I don't know either. It's a...
the dining hall. But when the party started, nobody...
Is it like a live gameplay version of Cluedo?
No, that's wrong. Now then, Hajime, will you battle against me?
This is almost like a real trial.
Dude, I have no idea. The player... And thus, the player must search for evidence that will help them in the upcoming class trial to expose the culprit. So yeah, I mean, there you go. I'll play Halo.
Yeah,
that's what Lunchbox says. I'll play Halo. That's fair. I can get behind.
I mean, if you played the first one and enjoyed it, give the second one a go because it looks interesting. If you've got an idea of how the game plays and everything, go for it. Yeah. But yeah, I have no idea what's going on there. The next game, this one's definitely been getting some traction on Twitter, which is Iden Chronicles Rising. So if you want to roll VT,
this one,
this is like, I'm going to say when we were making the reveal trailer for this, you were giving this a lot of hype. So
yeah, this one I didn't realize it was action RPG. So this is a like the pre-story behind Iden Chronicles 100-Year War or something like that, which doesn't come out till next year. And yeah, when I finish Bugsnax, this is where I'll go next for sure. So I at least want to try it. Sometimes these games don't stick with me, but I feel like this one could. So
yeah, it's like Octopath Traveler kind of side-scrolling battling without the turn base, which is great for me because that's the thing that always used to turn me off with Final Fantasy was that it was heavily anime, which isn't the thing I kind of go for. But I had to sit and be strategic in my turns rather than just smashing things to pieces.
Yeah.
So,
it's a... Oh, well, look at that. I did hear that. I don't know what that is, Ninja, but there you go. Yeah, but I'm interested in it, and like I said, I'll play it once I get through Bugsnax for sure.
Yeah, and I think the last game on the list for what's coming out this week is This War of Mine, which we have spoken about on previous podcasts, that it is very close to the bone. But I looked at some screenshots of this, as I don't know how it's going to play because this is my first time looking at the video trailer for this. But from the screenshots, it looks very much like Fallout Shelter.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Which might interest me in actually playing it a little bit because I enjoyed Fallout Shelter. So as long as this hasn't got any reference to like actually having to hurt people, then it might be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I am not certain. I agree with you that when I saw the trailer, I was like, oh, okay, maybe this isn't as bad as it sounded when you just read it. It certainly is a game that could be up my alley. I mean, it's got all the crafting and story and I mean, base building. I mean, that's me. That's my gig. But we shall see.
Yeah, I mean, graphically, it looks very nice in terms of how it's all all the details are there and things like that, and how it's you've got the 3D 2D aspects. But yeah, I think it's just a little bit too close to the bone to really try and get my teeth into.
Yeah. So all those games are already released. You can play them right now on Game Pass.
Yep, they're all there. So the next is the games that are on the golden ticket. One of these have actually that list isn't correct, is it?
I don't know, Sean. Yeah, it's these two.
Yeah.
For the next little bit, you can still release Hydro, and you
yeah. What's the I claimed one, and I thought I can't remember what it is that I've claimed.
I am not certain, but we will roll with Yuko for the moment, which is available now until the 31st of May. So here we go. I want this. I'm claiming this game. This looks a lot of fun. This is old school fun, Sean.
Oh, this is the one that I've claimed as well. Sorry, yeah, I just didn't realize the name of it. I just saw the gameplay look and thought, oh, that'd be quite nice to play with the kids.
Yeah. I mean, this just reminds me. I don't know when it came out, but it just kind of reminds me of like a GameCube game, maybe.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
Experience amazing abilities.
Oh wow, the game was released in 2018.
Wow, it looks well for 2018. But it's got that Lion King, like for the Sega look to it and how it plays and stuff like that, and a bit of Mario, a bit of...
Yeah, this was a Switch game initially.
Oh.
I don't know, I guess it does look fairly... I don't know. I really thought it looked a little bit older than that, but I'm in on it. I'll claim it. We can kids can play it. How fun.
Yeah, especially with like if it's got different mechanics in it. That's a Team 17 game as well, which doesn't surprise me for how it looks. So, and the other one then is Hydro Thunder Hurricane, which I'm intrigued.
This one is the wave race.
Speedboat racing, yeah.
This is the wave race wannabe, if you ask me.
I don't know, it's like Wave Racer on steroids.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, 100%.
Wave racing meets podcasting meets jet flying jet ski. Wow. It's like Wipeout on water.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, wow. With all the gods and stuff moving in the background. That's for it to be live arcade. That is, that's going to be like 2015.
Yeah, I can tell you. Hydro, what is it? Hydro Thunder?
Hydro Thunder Hurricane. That's definitely like 2015 for that game.
Oh man, no way. Originally okay, it must have been re-released 1999. Launch title in 1999. It was also released on the PlayStation and the Nintendo 64 in early 2000.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it must have been re-released on Xbox
the 360.
Live.
Yeah.
Oh
wow. So yeah. No, it's going back some.
Actually, it's never been over here on... Well, I don't know. I don't want to say that. According to Wikipedia, it doesn't show that it's been over here. It shows an EU release, but not a North American release. But I don't know. All right, guys.
Yeah, so that was the show. That was our first Games Pass news showcase. So give us some feedback. I hope that you enjoyed that, and it was a different change from us just describing like the game rather than doing that. We kind of we chat about it. Yeah, you get a live reaction. You get to see the trailer. You might get intrigued into trying it. So
All right. Well, take us out, Sean. That's GPN 2.0, baby. First episode.
It is, and I've lost my outro. Oh no. Let me jump across to this one. There we go. I forgot to add the outro in the bottom. So this is what you get when we spend months and months trialing everything. I fall at the last hurdle. So yeah, as always, if you want to head over to find us on any social media accounts, just go to Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch. Find us on any social media accounts, just go to Twitter, YouTube.
We had a real problem there. We're back. Sorry, I was trying to do something I shouldn't have been doing.
You and your buttons.
I know.
It's not the time to press the buttons. So sorry. Yeah. So that's it. If you want to get us on any of the social media accounts, it's Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch. Just head over to those websites. It's at Game Pass News. If you want to give us any feedback, subscribe to the Twitch channel, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Please do so, because we've got things rolling out there with the co-op campaigns to get those numbers up. You tell your friends, get people interested. You could win $50 if your name is picked. If you want to chat to us on Discord, head over to patreon.com/NintendoDads. Little as $1 a month gets you in on the chat there, as well as subscribing to our channel. Thank you, Ninja Lunchbox, for your first time chatting and absolutely taking over the chat this week. Thanks to SAZ and Hambo and Johnny for jumping in on the chat. And until next time, guys, we shall see you later.